When you first open up Google SketchUp, the first thing you have to do is ensure that your template is set to meters, since you'll be following the metric system. So click on the templates arrow and choose Simple Template Meters. Then click Start using SketchUp. Once your SketchUp loads, feel free to close the tutorial section, and you can erase your character by clicking on him or her and clicking delete. You will most likely have a toolbar on the top. What you want to do is you want to open up your large tool set. To do that, click on View, click Toolbars, choose Large Tool Set, and close. For Mac users, click View and you will see Tool Palettes, and under Tool Palettes you'll see the Large Tool Set. This will give you access to more tools. Once you're in SketchUp, let's go over the Orbit tool. The Orbit tool allows you to orbit around and view your three-dimensional planes. As a shortcut, if you have an external mouse, you can hold down the scroll wheel and that'll automatically change it to orbit. And when you release, it'll go back to whatever the last tool you had selected. The Zoom tool allows you to zoom in or zoom out. Again, if you have an external mouse, you can use your scroll key to zoom in and zoom out. Finally, the Pan tool allows you to pan left, right, up, down. If you have an external mouse, the shortcut for pan is Shift. You hold the Shift key down on the keyboard. Then you hold the scroll key down on the mouse. And when you release, it goes back to the last tool that you had selected. To draw the outline of your bedroom, I recommend starting in the quadrant between the red and the green axes. So I'm going to click on my pencil tool, draw out. Let's say one wall is 3 meters. I want to make sure that it's parallel with the green axis. So when the line is green, I'm just going to type the number 3. You'll notice on the bottom right, and enter. Then I'll come across 4 meters, enter. Let's pan. And then we'll come back 3 again, enter. And then we're going to close our shape. Okay, once you have the outline of your room, then you can use the offset tool to create walls. So I'm just going to click and drag, and depending on how thick your walls are, so let's say they're 0.1 meters, I'm just going to type out 0.1. This will give me 0.1 meter thick walls. Then I'll use the push-pull tool to pull that up. Let's say 3 meters. I'll zoom out. Now I have walls for my room. So let's talk about doors and windows. First, I'm going to use the tape measure to create reference lines so I know where to start drawing my doors and windows. So I'll click on the end of one of my walls and I'll drag. Let's say I know that my wall starts at 0.5 meter, so I'll type in 0.5. So this reference line is 0.5 meters from the edge. Then I can start using the rectangular tool to draw my door. And let's say your door is 1 meter by 2 meters. So I'm going to type 1, comma 2, enter. Okay. So same thing with windows. Tape measure. I know that my windows are 0.5 meter off from the left. And let's say I know that they are 1 meter off from the top. So this again gives me reference lines. I can use my rectangle tool, go to the intersection, pull that out. Let's say my windows are 1 by 0.6. So 1, comma 0.6, enter. So now I have the door and a window. Now that I'm done with these lines, I'm going to use my erase tool, click them to erase. Okay, so let's use our push-pull tool now to push in the door and the window. So I'm going to give myself a good angle to be able to push in until I see the words on face. then I can release. I'll do the same with the window. I'll push until I see on face, release. Then I'm going to refill this window with a thin layer and choose a translucent glass. Let's use the blue. So now I have blue glass. And for the door, I will draw out. Let's go 1 meter. And I'll do the same for the top. I'm going to make sure I'm parallel with the green axis, 1 meter. And then I'll close it. So now I have a door. And then if you want to make this door thicker, I'm going to use my push-pull tool. I'm going to pull this out. And then finally, I will give some color to my door and possibly even draw a doorknob, depending on how detailed you want to get. And we will choose a metallic color for the doorknob. Okay, the final step, once you are done, you want to use a tape measure to measure and make sure all your measurements are accurate. You can see the value on the bottom right. Same with this side. Alright, you want to make sure from the edge of the door to the edge of the building, 0.5. Alright. Once your measurements are accurate, then you can go ahead and add components from the 3D warehouse. To do so, click Window, 3D Warehouse. You can search for any components that you want to add, and components are designs that other people have created and shared. So if you want to add a bunk bed, click on the download model, and yes, there's the bunk bed. And obviously this bed is too big for my room, so I'm going to click the scale button, choose one of the corners. Be careful not to choose one of the middle points, or else it will reduce the size improportionately. So I'm going to reduce the size proportionally by clicking on one of the corners. Once I'm happy with the size, give myself a better angle. This may still be a little too big. Okay. Then I can use my move. And I'm going to move it first along the red axis. I'm going to hold shift. It'll lock it in place. Oops. I let go too early. Okay. Then I'm going to move it again along the green axis. Again, I'll hold shift. Put it against the wall. Oops. If you want to get exact, continue moving that along the green axis until it touches the wall. There we go. There's my bunk bed. And then finally, if you want to add some color to your walls, I'm going to choose the color palette, choose a red, and maybe go into flooring. You'll see carpet. If there's a carpet that matches your room, you can add that, or you can come down to wood and add hardwood. And that's it. There's your bedroom.